I'm here with my friend, Kayla Ewell. It's so fun that I get to sit down and talk to you. She's an incredible actress. You may know her from Vampire Diaries, but also apparently Bold and the Beautiful, which was
there's so many good stories, you guys.
There's so many things. She's in so many TV shows. The OC, so many. What's that other? Roswell.
Oh, Roswell, New Mexico.
Roswell, New Mexico. A lot of things. The Rookie.
Freaks and Geeks.
Freaks and Geeks. We didn't even talk about that.
No,
you were a cheerleader on Freaks and Geeks, right? No, you were a kid. No, Brianna Brown was a cheerleader.
I was a geek. I
you
was
were
like
a
friends
geek
with the
on
geeks.
Freaks and Geeks?
Yeah, I was the sweet girl who shot off the rockets with the geeks. I was the new girl who had no friends at all. And then friends with the geeks. Yeah.
Oh, I love
it's
that.
The best. It was so sweet.
Were you with Martin Starr at all in that?
Yeah.
No.
Martin and Sam Levine and John Daly.
Fun.
I know.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. It was one of my first jobs ever. It was amazing.
How old were you?
I was, freshman in high school. How old are you on your? Because I remember it was called Freaks and Geeks, and I thought it was social suicide to tell anyone that I was on a show called Freaks and Geeks, and I kept it to myself.
And that you were
and then it aired,
geek.
and everyone watched it. I don't know what I thought was going to happen. That was so fun. And Judd Apatow directed the very first episode I did on that show.
Oh, that's so
and
cool.
he's such a big personality. He was the greatest and also terrifying. He would get up on tables and scream and say the lines, and it was just
I love
such a wild, crazy, cool experience. And since I saw him a month ago, I went and visited a buddy on a movie that Judd's doing, and he was the sweetest, cutest thing, and was like, "Wait a minute, hang on, I got to show you something." Ran and got his iPad, came back, and brought up all these pictures of us from way back in the day.
Gosh.
And then we ended up going to the wrap party, and he comes up to me, he goes, "Can I have a picture with you?" And I was like, "Wait, sorry, what's happening right now? You want a picture with me?" "Yes, of course, you can have a picture with me." It was what a cool full circle life moment.
So cool.
Right? It's so cool.
Yeah. Oh, I love
life
that.
Life is awesome. There's so many cool moments that happen.
Yeah, you never know how it's going to come back around.
We got so many stories, guys.
Yeah,
this is going to be a great episode.
It's going to be great. Okay, thanks. Bye. Wait, what were you doing in Mexico?
Fun. Just having fun.
I love it.
Vacation with the kids. It was so much fun.
Oh, you went with your kids?
We went with our kids. This is our summer of vacationing with the kids. We have left our kids so many times for so many friends' weddings and friends' trips, because we, as actors, have a lot of friends who don't have kids. And so we went through this time in our lives where we felt like we really had to have no kids in order to go on these trips. And so we're trying to change the game a little bit. And everything we were invited to this summer, we said, we will say yes and go if they let us bring our kids.
Oh my gosh.
So far, everyone has said yes. And it's been absolutely amazing.
It's so fun to be with your friends who don't have kids with your kids, because it feels like they actually want to hang out with your kids too. But if you're with your friends who have kids, they're like, "No more kids around me. I don't want anything to do with your kids."
It's so true. Yeah. And they have all this energy because they've slept all day.
Yeah.
So they're
they can be sick alone in their room when they're sick.
Right.
They don't have to
They don't have
it
to
is fun.
watch
I have most of my very best friends don't have kids.
Why do you think that is? Because
I don't know.
we're going through that same thing, which Brittany and I are obviously, we're both in the entertainment industry. We both, and so many people have chosen not to, or just haven't yet, which is fine.
Yeah.
But it creates this weird thing where your lives start to be really different. So you have to figure out how to, maintain the friendships. And so that's why this summer we're coming on all the trips. We're saying yes to everything. Can we bring them? And it has been so much fun.
That's great.
We're closer with our friends because now they know these little humans we created. And I also wonder if it's cool for them to see, oh, you can do it both. You can do both. You can have kids and you can also have a great time and have fun. So
yeah, totally.
We just went to Cabo for 4 nights, and it was the best time. We had a fabulous time. It was great.
I love that, because I feel like I always see you traveling, and I'm always like, what are they doing with their kids? How are they? Who loves them that much that they'll watch their kids?
Well, luckily I'm from here. I'm from LA, and my parents live here, so that's a huge plus.
I know,
huge plus.
There was somebody,
but also my husband's family, they're Canadian, but they will fly at the drop of a hat to watch their grandkids.
That's so sweet.
Because Poppy and Jones, my 2 kids, are the only grandkids in the family right now on his side. My side, there's 10 grandkids. My parents are like, let's check our schedule. We have a babysitting schedule.
Yeah.
But Tanner's family, they're the only grandkids, so they are just,
they're ready to come watch them. That's so nice.
They're so
precious. That's so nice. I feel like I was joking with Marco too last night, because I was talking about because I feel like I've known you since basically I got here. I feel like.
How are we going to age ourselves? How many years?
I don't know how long I've known you since.
Well, when did you get here?
I feel like I've known you probably since 2010. 2011.
Yeah, well, interestingly enough, that's like around the era that I want to talk, that my story is about. So that's
perfect.
Fabulous.
Okay, great.
But did you know me? I'm wondering if you knew me during this time or not. Brittany and I took acting class together. We
were in an acting class with like this very special woman who recently passed away.
Which this is another amazing story that I actually should share on this podcast. Okay. Were you at her assisted death? No, you weren't. So she was an incredible acting coach. Her name is Sandy Marshall, and she like changed all of our lives. She was very secretive about her class. You couldn't find it. You had to like know somebody to know somebody. She would be like, I don't like you. You're not in my class. It was very much like, but she also like changed all of our lives. Yeah. She was more of a therapist than an acting coach. She kind of got rid of everything that was in the way so that you could then act not think.
Yeah, I didn't know I was like funny at all or had any comedic sense until I was in Sandy's class. And she was like, oh, this is what you like.
Well, that's your bread and butter too. That's who you are. That's fascinating.
I didn't know until Sandy was like, yeah, this is the thing, Brittany.
Wow. So she had a really good sense of self for each individual, and she changed all of our lives in a very distinctive way.
And I feel like we've all been in a lot of acting classes because once you live here for a while and you're acting, you've been in all the classes, but this one was different.
Yes, very different. And
this was like the one that was like, oh.
And she battled cancer for a very, very, very long time and decided that she didn't want to live battling cancer anymore. And I really respect that decision. And so she decided to have an assisted death. And in true Sandy fashion, she sent out an Evite that said Sandy's last blast. And I thought it meant that we were coming to say goodbye to her. So Tanner, my husband, and I were really excited to go. And, you know, how do you plan what to say to someone? How do you say goodbye to someone? Well, she was just hilarious. And she said, as soon as we walked in, you know, it's a good day to die. It's a good day to die. And I went, oh, that's odd. I didn't know we were dying today. I thought we were saying goodbye today. Come to realize that that was the day of her assisted death. And we were present for it. And I looked at him and I said, I can't not be a part of this. And unfortunately, Tanner was shooting at the time and had to leave because they were blowing up his phone going, where are you? You were so late. And he had told them, I didn't realize, but I'm now attending an assisted death. I'd like to stay for as long as possible, but I also don't want to like cost production any money. So he was, you know, at this push-pull. So he had to leave eventually.
This
and
is
he
such a funny, like a bunch of actors at an assisted death.
This is a good SNL
so like Sandy
skit.
Would love it. You know, that's the other thing. Like Sandy loved the drama.
She always loved the drama.
I feel like she's like, loves it.
Yes. And so she is sitting there and we've all said our goodbyes and everyone's, you know, kind of quietly in this room. And the nurse comes in and gives her a mixture, and Sandy's husband Neil says just a little something of like, you know, she has put so much thought into this, and every individual here means so much to her, blah blah blah, you know. And it was really beautiful and touching. She grabs the mixture from him and says goodbye, and then just drinks it. Like it was, and everyone was like shocked by it. And so then she, you know, kind of lays back down, and what it does is it slows your heart rate down slowly, so you don't know. I mean, everybody reacts differently. So it could be 5 minutes, it could be 3 hours. So the nurse says to everyone standing there, you know, we're not sure what happens next. So maybe if you'd like to stay, you can stay. If not, it's fine. Sandy sits back up in the middle of this and says, there's so much to talk about. And then she goes back down, and those are her last words.
But that's like... I feel like it sounds terrifying, but also if you know Sandy, it's like, of course that's what she said.
Well,
right?
How
and
amazing!
Then of course, it's like,
how amazing is it that to know that whatever you see when you're passing on to the other side means there's so much to talk about. And it was such an excitement. It was like this childish exuberance that was coming out of her. And kid you not, I am not afraid to die anymore after seeing that. I know that sounds really dramatic. It's true. Seeing that, I feel peace. And I know that there's so much to talk about. So my husband and I now, we have a space in our dining room, and we've been trying to figure out, you know, what art piece do we want? And so we've decided we want to commission an art piece that says there's so much to talk about, and put it up there, because how great is that's the spot. That's the place that people come together and they dine and they discuss things, and they, you know, and I just, I'm so grateful for that opportunity and that incredible life experience that I didn't know I was in for. Yeah. And what a cool metaphor for life. Like you think you're doing one thing and then, you know, something else completely different happens. And so that wasn't even the story I came here to tell. But
I feel like that's like I do feel like that class like really bonded. There was like quite a few of us who are like, oh yeah, we know each other in like a different way. But I do think that all the chatter after Sandy passed away amongst us, I like to imagine Sandy, wherever she is, just like loving it, like loving, like hearing, like she just loved gossip about everybody. And she like kind of like I took Penelope, my daughter, started doing this like acting dance camp, like downstairs from where we took that class all those years in that same building. And then they're like, and then the show will be up here. There's a black box up here. And I was like, what? That was like in my space, in like Sandy's space. Wow. Like that feels crazy. And then I pick Penelope up I take her there and she's like, I'm really nervous to go here. And I was like, well, I've been nervous to come to this building like so many times in my life. And it felt very like, and this was like right after Sandy passed away too. And then I pick her up and she's coming out with like her little script. And I was like, what character are you playing? She's like, I don't know. And she's like, but I have the most lines and whoever has the most lines is the star. I'm the star. And I just was like, no.
Not wrong.
I was like, you're not wrong. And I just felt like standing in that space where like we'd spent so much time. All of us, and her being like, and I'm the star. I was like, kill me. I was like, I feel like Sandy's playing a sick joke on me from wherever she is, being like, yeah, she's the star, Brittany.
That's hilarious. That reminded me of one other tidbit that experience that we had where we would, since Sandy's passed, her husband Neil is alone and living close to us, and both you and I in our neighborhood.
Amazing, and he's produced so many stand-up specials. Yeah, that's his job, which is so funny.
Maybe his next one should be yours.
Yeah, I'd love
Let's put it out there. But we used to go, we would take him to dinner monthly after her passing just to check in on him. And there was one time Tanner and I took our kids to dinner and Neil happened to be at the table next to us by himself. And we said, oh, Neil, come join us. And he said, no, I'm meeting someone. And the way he said it, we were like, oh, ooh, is Neil like dipping his toe into the dating world? Which good for him, right? Yeah. I'm so proud of him. And my daughter's obsessed with American Girl dolls. She has this book that's the encyclopedia of all the dolls. Oh, and she's going through it at the table, looking through it. And this woman approaches Neil's table next to us. She's lovely. She's artsy. She's got this beautiful scarf on. And I'm like, oh, she seems like such a lovely person for him to be with. Come to find out, he had told us right before she arrived, it was their second date. And he was a little nervous and was so sweet. There should be a movie about this. And then my daughter, Poppy, says, as she's looking at the book, she's like, Sandy's like, what's going on? And she's turning the page. She's like, look, Mom, Sandy's like, what's going on? And the doll's name is Sandy.
Oh my gosh. And she's screaming that, and Neil's on his second date at the table next to
Tanner and I are like, oh my God. I don't know where we go after we pass, but I would like to think that people are watching us, right?
Yeah.
And if so, I guarantee Sandy was there with us that day. Like there's just so much that the coincidence is just too
Sandy's like, what's going on? Also, that's so something she would say, what's going on?
Yeah. So anyways, just fabulous.
Well, yeah. She was amazing. And still is amazing.
A huge mentor in my life, and I still have yet to find anyone like her. I find myself constantly trying to replicate that relationship that was so special. And I wonder what you do in life when your mentor passes and you can't find another.
I feel like you become the mentor.
Well, I'm definitely not equipped to mentor myself.
You were my mentor when I had just had Benjamin and I hadn't seen you in like so long. Well, remember the day that I was like...
oh, tell this story. This is a great story.
Had moved here, and I knew we lived in the same neighborhood. We hadn't seen each other yet, and we hadn't seen each other in a few years.
For the record, we live exactly 1 mile apart from each other. Yeah, when I mapped it today, it was exactly 1 mile.
And so I was like, I think they live in this neighborhood. And I went to pick something up that had been dropped off at the gate, and I had just had Benjamin, and I was looking like disheveled, like I'd gone on a run.
You were not that disheveled.
Well, I was like a little...
Maybe mentally.
Yeah.
Physically, you looked...
I don't know, Kayla.
I've
seen better days. I feel like people wouldn't recognize me at that point if they knew me with makeup on. It was a little like, oh. And I walked down to get the thing at the gate, and then I just was like, I knew Benjamin was with the nanny, and I was like, I am just going to keep walking. And I just like walked away from my house, and I just started walking, and I was like, oh, this is what it's like to abandon your family. And I was having these thoughts of like, it's a lot easier than you think it would be to just walk off. And like, it's
I'm
not
sure
that hard.
A lot of mothers relate to that, because we all have these moments where, listen, motherhood is very isolating and it's very hard. And you don't know what it's like until you go through it. It is,
especially with the second one. I feel like the second one really like made me be like, oh my God. Mm-hmm. And I was walking and just walking, like, I don't know where I'm going. And I bump into Kayla.
She ended up like
with
on
her
the
son,
corner. Yeah.
And she looks like this. And she's like, hey, Brittany. And I was like, I'm like, hey. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing right now.
I think I'm having a midlife crisis.
I think I'm abandoning my family. I haven't seen you in like 3 years. And you're like, that's okay. And you're like, just walk with us. And I was like,
we were walking to Ralph's. It was not like this crazy journey that we were on, but it ended up being amazing.
Can I come? And you were like, yeah, sure. So I walked to Ralph's with you guys, and I'm like walking around looking like a gremlin, and people are recognizing you from Vampire Diaries and asking me to take photos of you.
That happened once. It was not like everything.
But they were like, oh my God. And I was like, yeah, I know. She's gorgeous, right? They're like, I'm just like taking pictures of you while Jones is in the stroller. Like being like,
I remember you being like, do I need these? Like everything on the shelf. You were like, I think I need this.
Well, you were like, I'm buying these ice creams for my kids. And I was like, I'll buy those for my kids too.
But then I was like, well, but then you're going to have to walk a mile back.
And I was like, I don't even know if I'm going back. I was like, I don't know where I'm going, but I'm just doing whatever you're doing right now.
This is such a good,
But you did buy like coconut flavored ice creams for your kids. You're like, it's coconut milk. They love it. I gave them to my kids, and like, we hate this. We want sugar and real milk.
We definitely give our kids sugar. We are not like the like.
Everything's like, oh, I just felt like I was like, yeah, I guess I'll go.
Here's what I think is missing in today's motherhood. In the 90s, no one had social media or Pinterest or all these. Can I cuss on this?
Yeah.
Get all this fucking shit out there telling us everything that we need to do so that we never feel equipped enough to parent. Now, anything, I'm like, how is her room so nice? How is her hair so perfect? How do they feed their cat? They make their own baby food. Everyone is doing something, and it feels like all you do is fall short all the time, and it's exhausting.
I know. I feel like we got screwed in this age of parenting. I'm always like, you know what? Time out used to be go to your room alone. You know what time out is now? Time in. I'll go to your room with you. Yeah. I'm just like, fuck this. When did we all of a sudden have to like do all this extra stuff?
But we don't. And that's what I think we need to talk about more is whatever you're doing is enough. You do you. Whatever works for you in that moment. If you want to give your kid an iPad for 20 minutes so that you can feel sane, do it. Like there's so much judgment around everyone's decision on what they feed their kids, what antibiotic, I think that it is so difficult that truly you should just do what works for you. And only know what works for you. And don't judge. Let's stop judging people. Let's stop judging each other. Okay. Everyone listening to this and watching this, please stop judging other moms or other parents, other dads, anyone.
Unless they suck. Like,
I don't know, but like I've sucked so many times in so many moments. I mean, obviously, we're talking like, if you're abusing your kid, let's be real, like within context.
Yeah, I feel like there's some things that just like really suck. You can judge them. Okay. I honestly feel like there's, so I feel like.
Let's gossip. Who are you talking about?
Well, I feel like I was in a mom's group for a second. And it was on Zoom. And there was this one mom.
A mom's group on Zoom?
It was during the COVID. And she was like, as I just had Penelope, and she was like, yeah, and my daughter, I call her my koala. She's just always attached to me. She just like hangs on me. I love it. And we make our own granola bars, homemade from scratch. And every time she started talking, I just would mute her and like go do something else.
You're like, this is a character study for my next role.
I'm not doing that. Like, no, I feel like, I don't know. I guess if you want to do that, fine. But to me, that feels like something's going on there.
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't.
I don't know.
No.
You don't have to judge people.
Well, no, I mean,
There's a
I
little bit
have
of
judged
it-
people for a very long time, but I find myself now just being like, God, you know what?
No,
It's
I don't
so hard,
judge
just
people
do what
for
you can
doing
do.
anything bad. Sometimes I think
Only
I
for
judge
making
people for
granola
like
bars.
trying to be like too good of
Yeah.
a parent. I
I
think I
mean,
judge that.
What
Where
I
I'm
judge is when people are like, oh, it's so easy. And I'm like, you are
Yeah.
a liar. Don't lie. It's not.
Yeah, it's like, who's raising your kids? I do feel like, though, we both have girls first, and I have only nephews, and I used to think my nephew is so agreeable, and he'd come over and he'd be like, we need to get in the car, and he'd be like, okay, and he'd go to the car and he'd be like, I'm like, go put your pajamas on. He's like, okay, and I used to be like, my sister has no idea what it's like to have a child. She has no idea, and I feel like having the second one is the boy. It's like, yes, they're physically destroying your house, but your nervous system feels very chill and totally normal. And Penelope's like quietly sitting there coloring, and I feel like I'm having like an internal panic attack crisis.
It's because girls will question everything. It's time to get in the car. Why? You said 5 minutes. It's only been 3 minutes.
Yeah,
and you're like,
yeah, I know. It's so bad.
well, it's going to be.
I feel like the boys, it's like, yeah, you have a few bruises on your body, but internally you're intact.
I mean, Jones jumps off of everything, though. Yeah. I'm deathly afraid he's going to break his neck at any moment. He runs. He doesn't walk. He runs at full speed all the time. He's climbing our windows and jumping off windowsills all the time. I just feel like
Benjamin runs down our driveway, and we have a very steep driveway, he's not even 2, and he runs down it. But he does it pretty well. Whereas like Penelope walks in the other room and like bumps something every 2 seconds.
I feel like you should get him a skateboard and just be like, go, have at it, bud. Break every bone so you learn right away. Get
Penelope
it out.
broke her arm. The second Benjamin was born, Penelope broke her arm. And unconsciously, I think this is how girls are. She was like, oh, the attention is off of me. I'm going to break my arm.
So now
that
you guys pay attention to me.
Yeah, I'd always said, like, I'm not having another kid until my older one can buckle herself into the car seat. And so I have another kid. She's 4.5. She can buckle herself into the car seat. And like 2 months in, just breaks her fucking arm. So she's like in a cast up to here, and I had a baby. So she can't buckle herself in anymore. And everybody's like, oh, what happened to your, like, I really think I don't know. I don't think she intentionally broke her arm, but if you like are really
Penelope's
woo-woo,
pretty smart. I wouldn't put it past her. Honestly, I wouldn't.
If you're a little woo-woo or whatever, like she broke, something was going on that she broke her arm.
She knew.
Okay, wait, what's your full out story from that time of your life?
So, well, now we've like told so many good stories, which is great.
Yeah.
But the one thing I was going to say, because it's actually the story I least like to discuss.
Okay.
But because I feel comfortable with you, I thought I'd talk about the time that I was on a hit series and they killed me off, because it was the absolute like worst moment of my life, but then also in hindsight has now become the absolute best moment of my life.
I love
and it's
that.
really cool. And so what I think the point is that we never really know what's in store and what's planned for us. So for those who don't know that are listening and watching, I was on a show called The Vampire Diaries. Brittany mentioned it. I was on the CW, Warner Brothers, and it ran for 8 seasons. And I made some of the best friends. I mean, some were in my wedding, some of the best friends of my entire life on that show. I had just been through a really horrible breakup, and I was heartbroken. And
how long were you with this person?
Oh, like almost 5 years.
Oh, wow.
Yes, met his family. It was very much like
everyone
kind of
thought young, huh?
We were young, but like it was very. It was one of I would venture to say probably my first love. You know, and so really heartbroken and booked this show. So I was like, oh, this is gonna get me out of this, and it did eventually, but. We did end up actually shooting. I shot the pilot in the same hotel. He was shooting a movie. I shot a pilot. We were staying in the same hotel right after we broke up. It was horrible. Their life was very strange.
Is this can I ask? Yeah. Is this the boyfriend that was also in a vampire?
Yes,
So
also in a vampire thing.
Twilight?
Shooting a vampire movie at the same time I was shooting a vampire series. I mean, there were so many parallels. It was bizarre and weird. We're since friends. It's all good. It really is fine. And we've seen each other many times since. But at the time, I was so heartbroken. It really was, and this got me out of it. We shot the pilot. I made some of the best friends ever. I had the greatest time. The series got picked up. We all got picked up to series regular. I moved my whole life out to Atlanta. 7 episodes in. I mean, there were 10 series regulars. So in hindsight, we probably should have known they were going to kill one of us off right away.
Yeah, but how would you know that?
I was number 9 of the 10 on the call sheet. So like probably should have been more aware. I was blindsided. We show up for a table read. And I go up to one of the producers who was like such a buddy of mine. And I said like, hey, you seem really tense today. Are you doing okay? And he's like, yeah, it's not the best day. And I was like, oh, it's okay. Don't worry. Everything will work out.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
I'm not joking. We do the table read and he's like, hey, can I talk to you for a sec? Afterwards, I'm like, yeah, no problem. What's up? And we go into this private room and he's like, hang on, I'm just going to get Kevin Williamson and Julie Plec on the line. And as soon as he says that,
who are like also like the creators
of the show. As soon as he says that, I knew exactly. I burst into tears, and I've got like he's hugging me. I've got like snot all over his shirt, and they tell me right away. They're like, this is the worst call of our lives. We are so sorry. We have to make this decision, and it's you, and we love you. And if we could change it, we could. But like the network needs us to kill someone, and it can't be this person because of this. It can't be this person because they just like name all the reasons.
Oh my gosh.
And I went, I understand. I get it. I'm heartbroken, but I get it. And
but you've also been in this business your entire life.
Right.
Too,
but there are certain jobs.
It's like you never know that it's going to happen. Right. Like no matter how long you've done it or whatever. It's like you didn't even like look for it or anything.
Well, and it was really hard because I had to continue shooting. So there were still episodes I had to shoot out. And I just remember every day on set wanting to know more. And like everyone knew about it. So everyone's like, how you doing? Which makes it worse. And
how did they tell everyone else though?
I told everyone. I immediately called. That's how close I was with the cast. I immediately called. I mean, Nina Dobrev and I lived together. And so I immediately called her and was like, oh my God, like I know I signed a year lease. I don't know what to do. I'm only here for 2 more months. I have to get rid of my car. I have to get rid of everything. Like this is insane. And she's like, wait, what? And it was just like, everyone was shocked. It was horrible. So everyone came over to our apartment right away. It was really like a family. And so it was just the most devastating thing in my life and horrible to have to go through. Came home, found out my mom had breast cancer.
Oh my gosh.
So went from being on like, this show was like a huge hit, Teen Choice Awards, all the things. It was winning like, all the teen, whatever awards. And it was the most watched and all these things. And then found out my mom had cancer, was able to go through all of these things with her, but, kept that really quiet. Not a lot of people knew that. Yeah. She's since battled. She survived. She's great. It's really happy ending. But at that time, I went from being on the highest of high to truly like the lowest of low. Not having a job, having to come back home, save face and tell everyone what happened. Help my mom battle her cancer. Both my other siblings were away at college, so I really was the only one here to help.
Wow.
And so in hindsight, it was the coolest thing because I got to help my mom beat the hardest thing she went through. I met my husband. We now are married, have 2 kids. Like that was the trajectory that my life was supposed to take.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad it did. I really am. Like, it's kind of weird to look back and think that the worst moment of my life was the best moment of my life.
Yeah.
And you just don't know it at the time.
Yeah.
And even as actors, entertainers, anyone that's listening to this that is in the entertainment industry and like, we live off for every job, for every opportunity. We're on hold for a job. We think this is it and you don't get it. And I think there really is a plan and you do have to trust it.
Yeah.
And in the moment, it's so hard not to, but you just need to trust that like there's a plan out
especially when
there.
all the other pieces haven't come together yet and you're so young and you don't see it happening. And it has to,
It's like that movie Soul. I don't know if anyone's ever seen that Disney movie Soul.
That movie gave me an existential panic attack. But I like lost my mind.
But the point is like
I thought I was I literally had to go outside.
Is it because you're living that life a little bit? Like you feel like you're not there yet. You're not where you want to be yet. But
no, I think I realized we're all going to die one day when I watched that, and I never thought of
we're all
going to
die.
And I realized,
but guess what? There's so much to talk about.
There's so much to talk about. I was laying in a sauna blanket right after the pandemic had happened. Penelope was like a month old, and I was watching Soul. And I literally was like, Marco, I think I'm having an existential panic attack. I need to go outside. We're all going to die. And I don't know. I like lost my mind a little bit. So I don't really know what Soul is about, honestly.
Well, it's about that he lived his life never feeling fulfilled, right? And he gets to go back and see every single person that he's affected and every single person that he's changed their lives.
Oh, that's cool.
The point of his life wasn't to try and become some big musician like he thought. The point of his life was to mentor these kids and affect their lives and be someone of, purpose for them. And it's really beautiful. It's really beautiful.
Cool, yeah.
So anyways,
I feel like I could watch it now now that I'm older and have accepted the fact
You don't
that
have to. There's a lot of great movies out there. You can watch something else too.
Okay, I'll try it. I feel like, no, that's so cool. That is, I mean, I get that. I feel like we think that something has to work out a certain way for, especially I felt like that when I was younger acting. I was like, if I don't get this, then I've never,
Yeah. Well,
nothing
the
has
industry's
ever
taken
worked.
such a different turn now. It's like a completely different business than it used to be. And like, I don't even know if how do you feel about where it's going? I mean, I don't know if you've had an episode about this or not, but like the whole AI thing and all the social media. And I watched Fried Green Tomatoes the other night and I went, this movie, it's all about friendship. And like, this is insane. This is just so beautiful. Why can't we make films like this anymore? And I don't know why we can't. And it's because they're putting like TikTok stars and like, no offense, but like they're putting all these people in these roles that maybe they can shine elsewhere. I don't know. I feel like, so one of my very best friends created this Disney show that I thought was so good. And it was on for one season. It was called Electric Bloom. And it's like 3 girls who are best friends and they're singers and dancers. And Penelope loved it, but she's the only one who knew about it because I was like, you have to watch Alex's show. And then like her whole school knew about it because Penelope, of course, told everybody. Maybe Poppy even knows about it because Penelope tells everybody about it. But I'm like, nobody told us about it and nobody marketed it to us. And they're like, oh no, kids just want to watch like YouTube stuff. And now they're trying to like sneak in all these YouTube shows and they're just trying, I don't know. I'm like, I don't think they actually do. I think people are just like, I don't know. Yeah, no, that's a fair point.
Yeah.
My husband's brother is significantly younger, like 10 years younger. And really only watches the trailers to movies, doesn't watch movies. He watches the trailers to movies. And if you think about it now, trailers pretty much tell you everything that happens in a movie.
Yeah.
Like think about the Independence Day trailer was the White House blowing up and that was it. And everyone was like, wait, what is this movie? That's what trailers should be. So then it makes you want to watch it.
Like, welcome to Earth, bitch. And he punches her in the face. It's like my favorite line of a movie
to rewatch it
ever. Like, you're not going to get that.
No,
I don't think if you don't watch it.
I
know. It is weird. I feel like, a lot of people are really panicking right now, which is sad too, because there's so many talented people who like aren't working and are like, what is this?
Yeah, really creative people that have something really cool to say.
And I feel like ChatGPT is so dumb, and like I've noticed like this little bit of a turn on it. Like it doesn't know as much as it knows stuff, but not really.
Do you prompt it like you are the top tier whatever you're asking it? Like do you prompt it to become the expert?
I think that it thinks it's the expert all the time, you know, and then it'll be like, and they'll be like, that's not true, and I'll be like, oh, you are so right. You're always so right, whatever you're asking ChatGPT. And Marco asked it something about like Spencer Pratt, like it's like said something when he was running for mayor and was like, you know, is Spencer Pratt running for mayor? And it was like, no, that would be a really funny joke if Spencer Pratt was running for mayor, but he's not. And Marco was like, he is. He's running for mayor. And it's like, no, he's not. He's not. And then he has this whole conversation. And then finally he's like, can you do a search? And it searched and it's like, oh, well, he actually is running for, I don't know. I just find it all a little bit like, does it really know what it's talking about?
That's really funny. I feel like you have a special ChatGPT.
That's dumb.
That's dumb.
We have like a dumb one.
Wouldn't that be funny if they released like a few of them out there?
Dumb ones to just be like, what can we get
just
people
to
to believe?
People? Yeah.
Just like, and it's Marco's. Marco is like because it wasn't even mine. My poor husband has the dumb chatbot.
I love your husband. He's the best. He's my favorite person.
Did you meet your husband in Sandy's class?
No, we met. We did a music video together. This is actually a fun story. It was my birthday and I had just been killed off the Vampire Diaries. And I was sitting at lunch with my lifelong best friend, childhood best friend, not in the industry at all. One of the perks of being from LA, like 14 of my best friends are like nurses, teachers, just like not in the industry at all and don't care about it at all, which is very cool and humbling. And I'm sitting with her at lunch and we get the call, hey, you got an offer for this music video. And at that time, my team was like, I don't know if you should do this. Hung up the phone and my friend is looking at me going, I'm sorry, it is your birthday and you get a call out of the blue to do something. You are supposed to do this job. And I look at her and I'm like, oh my God, you're right. I have to do this job. You have to do this job. Okay, call him back. I have to do this job. It's Tanner, my husband and I, the entire music video. And it's about two people who have lived two separate lives and meet at the end of the pier, look at each other, the music video ends. And that's kind of where our life starts. And we were super professional through the whole thing. And I remember leaving thinking, oh, that's cool. I met that guy because I now have hope that someone like him exists. We both left our sunglasses with the makeup artist. She texts us, hey, I have your sunglasses. So now I have his number. And now I have Tanner's number. And Tanner he lived in Venice at the time, right next to her, went and grabbed both of our sunglasses. And he's like, I knew if I had your sunglasses, I'd see you again. And then he was like, I'm in the area. I have your sunglasses. Have you had lunch yet? And that was kind of like our first date.
That's
Rest
so
is
cute.
history. I left that lunch without my sunglasses. I forgot I was so smitten. So that's how we met. And the music video is called Maybe, which is a horrible omen for a marriage, but we're 16 years in, so I think we're good.
Yeah, and you have, that's so funny. Have you watched it ever? Like
we showed our kids the music video.
Oh my God.
And Tanner, my husband, always has long hair in the music video.
Oh
and they're
my
like,
God.
oh, Dad, look at your hair. I look exactly the same.
Oh, of course you do. Of course you do.
Definitely not.
I love that. Wait, also, I feel like you went back to the Vampire Diaries after that, though, right?
Yeah, I guess, yeah. So the long story short is they realized they made a huge mistake.
Because weren't
killing
people,
me.
like,
And then
freaking
I
out?
did season 2, season 4, end of 7. I did 6, end of 7, and 8. So like they just kept bringing me back, which was amazing and lovely. And I got to be here in LA and have my relationship and help my mom, and then also go back and forth between
And do the show.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
was heaven.
Who are
And-
like still your best friends.
and it was nice to be humbled. Like, it's good sometimes to be reminded that, this show is just one of the shows, and, anyone can be killed off at any time. And there's a lot of bigger things happening in this world. And so I think to go through that, I was 23 at the time, was really good for me because it really taught me a big life lesson at a young age.
Yeah, to be like, there's more to life than
Yeah,
this.
yeah, and more to life than you.
Yeah.
Because I think as an actor on a show, it's really easy to think that the world revolves around you. And I've seen that happen to a lot of people we know.
I know. It's really sad.
Yeah.
And it like doesn't age well, I gotta say. It ages
have
like it's
this
kind of
theory.
cool in your 20s when you're like, oh wow, look at them. And then now as we're like older, I've seen some people and I'm like, oh God, this does not age well. This is sad.
I have a weird theory that whenever someone hits it big, their mentality and their style stays right at when they were the peak. And we have a friend who's like amazing and I love, but his style has never changed. And he still wears bandanas in his hair.
Oh
and
my
I'm
gosh.
like, this just is not a good, I think people think, oh, this worked for me once. I have to keep doing that.
Yeah, I
And
know,
that's
and
not always
it's
the
really
case.
not
Yeah,
good.
it's
I
not
like
good.
run into like exes too, and they're like kind of still in the same
You have
place.
so many good ex stories, by the way. Have you told them on this show?
I don't know.
Oh, you got to tell
I
the
think
hairbrush
so.
story.
I think I've told
You
this
have. It's
story.
so
I don't
good.
know.
I mean, you have at the Moth, so
I
people
feel
have
like,
probably heard it.
and then I made a short film out of it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, I
and
haven't
then
seen this.
I'm pretty sure he saw it. Okay, so we have somebody we both know who was in our class who I dated, and
so good.
I thought, and he was very like CW actor guy,
For sure.
like, and I always felt like so like lucky to be in that relationship because I feel like he told me I was lucky to be in that relationship. Like that was like the vibe with him. And then I was just like, I don't know, I was in a weird time. I was like friends with people who were like, manifest, think positively, read these books. Like,
I mean, yeah, but like it does work, so I get it. I
Yeah.
mean, sometimes it works,
but I was
sometimes
like
it
being
feels
like a
bullshit.
very fake version of myself
Got
because
it.
I read this book called Getting to I Do.
Oh.
And it's somebody else we know who suggested it to me,
Mm-hmm.
who I feel like gets mad at me whenever I talk about her, even though like it's not bad. So I won't say her name.
Yeah, okay.
Because she's, anyways, I'm sure you can guess.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd read that book and it was like, just be agreeable, like to men, whatever. And so this guy had like, I remember one time we went ice skating and he tied my ice skate and I was like, I know how to tie my own fucking ice skate. And I was like, no, the book would say to let him tie my
What
ice
is this book? Oh.
Well, also like who was I like to follow
Yeah.
this book?
No, right.
Like that was a little bit my own fault and
Right,
a
okay.
lesson I needed to learn,
Fair,
Fair. And then he invited me on a silent date because he was very newly spiritual.
This is
But he also would say like he was very spiritual in this one specific way, like whatever he was following, where like he wasn't allowed to drink or have sex, but then he would be like, maybe I can have sex like once a month or something. But I never like knew when the once a month was. I didn't know if it was like a reason.
Talk about silencing women. Let's go on a silent date.
I know. And so I go on this, I show up at his house and it's like silent. We like stare at each other for a really long time. Like he like did prayers standing on his bed. I swear to God. Like I just followed along like an idiot. Like, and the whole time I was like, what am I doing? I cannot believe I'm doing this. And then he sat me down on the bed and I was like, I don't know. Like, and he walked to the bathroom. I was like, is this a one time a month? What's going on? And he came back with a brush and then like silently brushed my hair.
Like you're a doll.
Like I was a doll. And then he tucked me into bed. And then he fell asleep. And then I was like laying there being like, oh my God, I need to get out of here.
Yes. How do you get out of here as soon as possible? Like,
and then I woke up the next day and I was like, I'll just pretend this never happened. And then he broke up with me. And then I was like, anyways, you know who it is. That person is still like, has since apologized to me.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. That's good.
Came up, I think has seen that I like.
What did he apologize for?
How he projected a lot of his own stuff onto me. And like, because he would do things like,
Sorry, I didn't brush your hair correctly.
Sorry, I didn't brush your hair correctly. Now I'm like, God, would somebody fucking brush my hair and tuck me into bed?
Totally.
Like,
oh my God.
Now I have 2 kids. I'm like, when is somebody gonna come over and not talk to me?
Not my kids, it's a silent date. It's a silent park date.
Brush my hair. I'm like, I would kill for a silent date right now. Somebody just take my makeup off and brush my hair and put me in bed.
Totally.
And then maybe bring a manicurist over to paint my nails while I'm asleep. That's like my dream life. I'm like, I don't want to do any of this when I'm awake. Anyways, we know that person.
Yes, we do.
And they've apologized to me. And they...
actors are so weird.
But I feel like it's still like kind of in an actor
I'm an
life.
actor. They're so
like,
weird. Tanner and I always, every day, we're like, actors are so weird.
They are.
So weird.
We're
sorry.
so weird.
For anyone that's not, I apologize. We're so weird.
We're so sorry.
My siblings are like, why are you an actor?
Oh, I know. I feel like it is a thing, but you know.
Listen, it's just, there's something about it. You can't not. It's a lot easier to do a main 9 to 5 and just have more structure in your life, but we just have to perform for everyone.
Yeah, all the time. I love it. Wait, I feel like what happened to you have a podcast? No, you don't.
Oh gosh, I had one for 5 years, but we had a podcast way before anyone else had a podcast. And so no, we don't have it anymore. We haven't had it in since 2022, like 4 years. Yeah. I loved doing it, but I think it's really exhausting, and to do it for 5 years straight, we didn't take a break. It was a lot.
And you did it with somebody else. So I feel like doing it with 2 people is a lot to sync up.
Coordinating, and we were
stuff.
both actors. So schedule wise, we couldn't figure it out. It was a lot. So we had so much fun, and we had incredible guests and really great conversations. And then it was just done. It was just time to be done. And I really am kind of relieved. It was such a lovely time, but I'm okay with not doing it anymore. I was on set trying to run and record and it was just too much. I couldn't do it. And it was during the pandemic. It was just a lot.
It's a lot, yeah.
I loved it. But now I just like to be a guest.
That's so fun. It's fun to show up as a guest. Wait, I have a question that we can cut out if you want to.
Yeah.
Because I thought of it when you talked about your 14 childhood friends.
Yeah.
If you don't want to talk about this,
no, for sure.
But weren't you friends with the girl who was in the NXIVM cult?
Oh, this is
Should we
really
not talk
good.
about
No,
this?
we can. So
because
growing
I was
up in Orange
was
County,
she one of them?
No. So growing up in Orange County, I was in this performing group, and Allison Mack was in the performing group, and I loved her. She was just a few years older than me, and such a mentor, and really, truly a lovely human, a sunshine in a bottle. And I loved her, and it's hard for me to think of her as the same person that I see in the news today. And listen, from when you're 13 years old to when you're 30, you go through a lot of life. I haven't seen her since then. But I still have a pair of earrings that she gave me for when we were each other's Secret Santa. I really loved her, and it's hard for me to see.
I think I remember that popped into my mind because I feel like I was out with you at coffee years ago when that had just happened. And you were like, oh yeah, there was like chatter amongst your friends at home
Right.
being like,
Well,
what's going,
so that's a different friend group, but
Okay.
but yes, I've spent years of my life with her and it's really bizarre. I don't have any current stories because I just don't know her anymore.
Fine.
But
I
it's
do
so
feel
weird to see like someone you think you know turn into someone else completely different. And I really don't know enough about that story.
happened,
Yeah,
to know
I
what
need to.
happened.
I think I separated myself from it because
probably
she was
good.
a part of it. I haven't watched any documentaries about it or anything.
really?
And it's funny now that we're talking about it. I think it's because of that. Because I just
to
didn't
you,
want
she was like somebody else.
Yeah, I think I wanted to
that's
preserve
good.
who I knew.
Yeah. But I do feel like
Weird.
growing up in this world, like you were on a soap when you were super young.
I was
right?
on a soap opera for 3 years, and it's now the soap opera that my husband is on.
No, I
Yes.
didn't realize he was on the same one that you were on.
The same soap opera called The Bold and the Beautiful.
Oh my gosh.
Tanner's been on the show now for 6 years. I was only on for 3 years it was one of my first jobs when I was 17. But during the pandemic, you had that 6-foot rule, right? Like they had a full stick that they would put in between people, so you couldn't kiss anyone, but he could kiss his wife. So I went back into the same show I was on forever. They wigged me and I played the back of his spouse on the show all throughout the pandemic. And he was like, this is great for my storyline because
you're like,
not many other spouses looked like the characters from behind. And so it was just, we were very similar in frame and whatever. And so they just put a wig on me and I got to get paid to kiss my husband during the pandemic. And it was so weird to go back to my own old dressing room, and the smell of the sets was the same, and it was the same people, because what people don't know about soap operas is they're their own bubble. People just stay on those shows forever. And it's a great gig as an actor, especially as an actor who's a parent, because Tanner will do 2 episodes a day. He'll drop the kids off at school at 8 and be home by the time they're home from school.
Yeah, because there's like one take and you're done and like you move on.
70 pages a day. It is like doing a play every single day. So memorization is key. And you know what? It's like not necessarily about performance. It's kind of like you got the words out next.
Move along.
But yeah, it's a great gig.
How is that to go back to? I feel like I would have had a hard time going back to my show and being there like without like just being there to like be your husband's like was it a little bit like
well I was so happy for him because Tanner found success later in life and so I was really so stoked for him to have this job, especially at a time when no one else was working, and so I just thought it was a bonus that I got to like literally kiss him and get paid. No, it was amazing.
That's so
and
funny.
It was fun to see people, even though it was just their eyes from their eyes up because everyone was masked, but it was cool. It was fun.
I love that.
And our daughter's name is Poppy. They've now like named a character Poppy on the show after her.
Love that.
So it feels like family. And Brad Bell, who created the show, we've since vacationed with him separately, and like it really does feel like a family there. So it's kind of fun.
I love that. You know, when I would go visit my dad in the summer in South America, I had to live with my dad for like 50 days in the summer in South America, and the only thing
50 days.
50.
That's a lot of days.
It's a lot of days.
Wow.
And my dad was at work all the days. And my sister and I would watch, the only thing that came on in English was The Bold and the Beautiful and Remington Steele with Pierce Brosnan. And I would like imagine Pierce Brosnan was my dad, but I watched a lot of Bold and the Beautiful like back then.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
I don't think you were on it yet because you definitely weren't on it. You weren't on it when you were a kid. You were 17 when you were on it. Yeah, no, you weren't
technically
on
a child, but not
really.
Not really. Yeah, true. True
That's
story.
so funny.
Isn't that crazy?
That's crazy. I did not realize Tanner was on the same one, but I feel like Tanner's like
Life is weird.
I saw you at a baby shower the last time I saw you, like a year ago or something, and you're like, I have to go. It was a Sunday, and you're like, Tanner's filming a shirtless scene tomorrow and he needs to go to the gym today and I have to be home because I'm a soap wife now. And I'm
it's
like,
so true.
He needs to go like pump a little iron before he shoots the show tomorrow.
Poor guy. That's like what he's always shirtless. He's always shirtless on that show. And so every night I'm making dinner, I'm like, do you have your shirt off tomorrow or not? Because literally what I make for dinner depends on whether he has his shirt off or not. And we need to make sure he goes to the gym. My kids call it work his muscles. Dad has to work his muscles
because he has to have no shirt on tomorrow
hard.
at work.
Listen, we're in our 40s, okay? It is not the same as it used to be. And so, you can't just like go eat In-N-Out burger and then be shirtless the next day. I mean, he kind of can. He has crazy metabolism, but it is different than when you're in your 20s.
Yeah.
So it's part of the job, but it is very bizarre. I'm like, oh, sorry, I have to go. My husband has to go to the gym. But it's true. Like, it's really true.
Because he has to take his shirt off. It's so funny. I love it.
Life is weird. Our life as an actor is very, very bizarre.
It is bizarre.
But it's amazing. And it's such an adventure. It's crazy.
Do you have your kids seen Tanner on a soap?
They've seen him on the Liberty Mutual commercials. My husband's like the Liberty Biberty guy. And so those commercials come on often. And so they think it's funny. And, you know, friends at school think it's funny.
For the Liberty Biberty guy. Like when I met Tanner, it was in Sandy's class the first time. And I didn't know you guys were dating. I don't even think I think you must have been.
I brought him to class. Yeah, no, we were definitely dating.
And I'll never forget, Sandy had him do. I feel like this is like but only going to be funny to us. But Sandy had him do. She always would give everyone a scene, and she had him do a monologue alone to a cat.
Sounds about right.
And I feel like
normal
basically that was his audition for the Liberty Biberty guy.
Oh, wow.
Because it felt like very similar, like what he was doing in that felt very similar to when I saw him as the Liberty Biberty guy.
Our buddy is in the Top Gun, the new Top Gun franchise, and he invited us to come to set, and we watched Tom Cruise work. And Tom Cruise is just so specific about like, is my eyeline here or here, here or here? And Tanner took watching him in that moment of like, is it here or here, here, or, you know, and made the Liberty Biberty guy from that because the intensity level is just so high. And I mean, obviously, if you're shooting Top Gun, it works. But this Liberty Biberty guy is like funny and hilarious.
But he's so good at that.
Yeah.
He's so good at that, like.
Comedy,
lovable,
fun,
like dumb guy, kind of, you know?
Totally.
Yeah, it's hilarious. Yeah. It's so funny.
It's really fun to be married to.
I auditioned.
Lovable,
I did a
guy.
commercial to audition to play somebody who's in a Liberty Biberty commercial with him.
Oh, cool. Was it the love interest one?
Yeah.
Okay, so I was on hold for that.
And I was like, why is Kayla not doing this? Because they wanted a brunette.
No, I was literally on hold for it. I had to go in and audition. And then I got the call back. And then I go in and they check my avail to play my husband's like love interest in this commercial. And then they didn't cast me. And we were like, what the fuck? What the actual fuck? Are you serious right now?
You're like, are you trying to break up a marriage?
I've been in the room since, and casting was like, oh my God, why didn't they do that? I'm like, I don't know.
Too. I almost didn't even I was like, I don't even want to read an audition because
Kayla's gonna get
one,
this.
I don't want to even do commercials because I'm having a hard time, like, I don't want to do them.
Oh, I love them. I think they're so fun. I don't want to do them. Okay.
I want to do them if I can go into the room. I don't like taping a commercial at home.
Yeah.
I don't like being like, oh, you can, like, trying to get Marco to tape a commercial for me at home.
I'll tape you. Call me. I'll come tape you. You're perfect for commercials.
I already told them I'm not doing them anymore.
Okay. All right,
so,
never mind.
Anyways, they was also always try and get like me to put my kids in it, and I'm like,
that I get.
I don't want to do that, but I think that's the last one I did, and I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. And then I also was like, why they want a brunette, and it says you must be willing to dye your hair brown. Like I had to say I was, and I was like, you know who's brunette and who could do this? His wife who lives like 1 mile from me down the street. Like,
no, our life is so crazy because we have a mutual friend. Her name is Helena Matson, and she was in class with us as well. And the best story is like there's a commercial and they're like, we need a Helena Matson type. And she goes into the room. Helena Matson goes into the room to audition for a Helena Matson type and didn't book the commercial. Like, this is what we go through every day. It's just the most bizarre, crazy experience.
It is so,
and it's such a crapshoot. So, like, when you do end up booking a job, it's like, oh my God, okay, I guess I'm supposed to do this.
Yeah, totally. I know. That is so funny.
I once was cast in an episode of CSI. And it was to play, whatever. We've all done those CSIs. And it was to play like a famous movie star, famous something. And I'm really excited, right? This is when we're like younger. And I tell my friends, all my 14 friends who aren't in the industry, I'm like, watch CSI tonight. You're going to love it. It's going to be hilarious. And then I get a call from my team and they're like, hey, it turns out actually you were recast. I'm like, for an episode of CSI? Like, what do you mean? And they're like, yeah, with Khloe Kardashian. And I was like, I'm sorry, what? I'm not joking. Khloe Kardashian did that episode. I guess they found out they could get like someone who was actually famous. And so they reshot the whole thing with Khloe
Oh
Kardashian.
my God.
And I was like, okay, all right. That was the beginning of the end. I should have known.
Like, that's the beginning of the influencer thing.
Of the influencer takeover.
Wow, that's so
crazy.
I mean,
that's just what we go through, though. It's like water off your back at this point. You're just like, hey, what's next?
Yeah, I know.
Come at me.
Like, it's always like, I'll believe it when I see it, you know? Like, wait till it's like comes out or something.
Not even.
Yesterday, this reminds me of something stupid. This is very Biberty. Like, I got in a fight on phone with customer service. And as I hung up, I meant to say, I'll believe it when I see it. And I said, I'll see it when I believe it. And I hung up the phone. And then I was like, okay. Anyway,
you told them, Brittany, good job.
Okay, yeah. Okay, we're going to play a game, Kayla.
Oh, yeah, I love games.
And is this from Princess Diaries, Bridget Jones Diaries, or Vampire Diaries?
Okay, current Bridget Jones Diaries? Like
any Bridget Jones Diaries.
The universe.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, are you ready?
Yes, ready.
Number 1. Because you saw me when I was invisible. What is that from?
Oh. It's quite a short quote. Let's see. Maybe because you saw me when I was invisible, I'm going to go Bridget Jones' Diaries.
That's actually Princess Diaries.
Oh, Princess Diaries. Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
I showed my daughter Princess Diaries. And
it's
she was
so
like
good.
4 when I showed it to her. And then she goes, when she had like curly hair, and I don't know how she knew this. She goes, wait, Mom, are they going to straighten her hair and then she's going to become the princess? And I was like, how do you know that like that kind of hair doesn't equal princess in year 4?
Because she's smart.
Because she's a woman and we just instinctually know that
everything.
That's not going to be successful.
Isn't that sad?
Yeah. that frizz is not going to work for anybody.
I like frizz.
I like it too. Okay. No one can, wait, no, that's not the one I'm doing. Okay, ready?
Yes, ready.
I am not interested in emotional fuckwittage. Goodbye.
Say it one more time.
I am not interested in emotional fuckwittage. Goodbye.
Bridget Jones.
You're right.
Yes, I got one.
You're right. Yes. You got it. Okay. I look like a poodle.
Princess Diaries.
Yeah. That's what we're all picking up on. She looks like a poodle. I feel like me saying that just is true. Sometimes I feel like my hair gets really big. I feel like I look a lot like my dog. We have the same like hair situation going on. Okay. If we cease to believe in love, why would we want to live?
Vampire Diaries.
Do you remember that one?
No, but it sounds like the writing.
Number of cigarettes, 24.
Bridget Jones's Diaries.
Yeah. Okay. Last one. Some girls just can't resist my good looks, my style, and my charm, and my unflinching ability to listen to Taylor Swift.
Because it's the last one, I'm going to guess Vampire Diaries.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Wait. Yeah, no, it is. I'm like, wait, do I want to read another one?
I remember Kevin Williamson was obsessed with Taylor Swift and offered her, there's the very first scene of the pilot, this couple dies and he offered her that role. And for a moment there, it seemed like we were going to get her. And then she said no.
Oh my
Too
gosh.
Bad. I know. And now she's married.
Do you think they killed you off to try and replace you with
Taylor Swift? Probably.
And they were like, no, we can't.
I wouldn't be mad at it. I would completely agree with their decision.
I feel like if you were at Taylor Swift's wedding, I wouldn't have been surprised.
We knew what?
Yeah, I just feel like you're always somewhere.
I'm definitely not at Taylor Swift's wedding. I wish. We
with your
had
kids,
some friends
you said
who were there.
Only bring your kids. That's why you weren't there.
They were the flower girl and the ring bearer. Didn't you know? I keep wanting to know about these details.
I know.
No one knows anything. It's like very secretive.
I know, but I feel like we will know eventually one day. Right?
Would you want to get married there?
No.
That was the worst venue. I was very disappointed.
I know. I was like, you don't get married at work, right?
I know.
It felt very much like a cheerleader wedding because people who are like competitive cheerleaders always get married and like do stunts in their wedding.
Well, I'm wondering if she performed and there was a whole show.
She did. Oh, she did. Apparently, she performed like she sang the whole time. She was on stage the whole time. She just can't get off. She just can't get off the stage.
Wow. I don't know what to say to that. I don't know how I feel about that.
Well, we're not judging anyone,
what did
Kayla,
he do?
Remember?
What did he do the whole time she performed, though?
He also sang a song.
Stop it. You're serious?
Uh-huh. He sang something. I mean, this is what Dumois says. He sang a song.
Wow.
And some people are saying that the stage was a castle, but Dumois is like, I will not say that. I don't know for sure, but I think they built a castle.
I met her
stage.
once, the Dumois girl. Yeah,
Oh, the
she
Dumois
came
girl?
to one of the Vampire Diaries conventions, and we were told they're like, Dumois is here. She's in the back corner. She was like,
What does she
waving.
look like?
Well, I think there's multiple. Like, it's not just one girl, but this.
It's not the girl who does the pod. There's one girl who does the podcast.
It could have been. I don't know. I don't listen to the podcast. I don't know, but she was one of them. Just long, straight hair, brown. She could have been in the commercial opposite Tanner.
She probably was.
That would have been a good choice.
She probably was.
Probably her.
She's at the Liberty Biberty
She's
love
everywhere,
interest. Dumois. She is everywhere. I feel like there's been a couple times when people we know pop up on Dumois.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
That's so fun.
All the
I
time.
mean, like,
I feel like there's people there. I have gotten like texts and emails that are like, "Hey, off the record," and asking questions, and I'm like, I don't know who you are. I'm not texting
like
and
for
answering any of
Dumois
this.
stuff.
I don't know who it's for. I don't know who it's from, but I'm like,
I feel like also people are probably really interested in Nina Dobrev and probably
yeah,
try and
when
get
she was
to
with
you from
Sean a
that.
lot, and then Glenn Powell and whoever he's dating. There's just like some people that are a little sparkly,
and they're like, people want
to
to know what's going on with them.
Yeah, a little bit.
It's so funny because you're friends with Glenn Powell, and our other friend is like in love with Glenn Powell, like in this funny way. And I thought for years that he was the ex-husband of like this other girl that we know until remember, like I thought it was like I thought he'd been married and like divorced from this. And you guys were like, no, he's not married and divorced. I don't know anything, so I'm just starting false rumors. I guess.
Yeah, I first met him when he was dating Nina such a long time ago. And
That's
then
crazy.
and then, you know, when they broke up, it was actually like the smoothest, cutest, coolest breakup. And we just got to be friends with both of them.
I love that.
Which is cool. It's nice when your friends break up like that.
And you get to keep both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so nice.
Yeah.
I love that. Well, thank you so much for doing this.
Thanks
Kayla,
for
do you have
having
anything
me.
you want people to, where can they follow you?
Oh,
find you?
yeah, I guess since we just bashed social media, why don't you follow me on all my platforms?
She's fun to follow. I feel like you have very good fashion sense.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah, you've always had like good fashion.
I don't know. Yeah, I just like post my life, but I post my kids' fun stuff. And I've found it to be fun, social media, because it is a part of our job now. So we have to do it. If you have Instagram, it's my name at Kayla Ewell. And then my TikTok is Kayla_Ewell.
EWELL.
And it's fun. Ewell. It's actually pronounced Ewell, but it's spelled like Ewell. That's fun.
I love that. And you just did a movie, right?
Yeah, I have a movie coming out it's like a TV movie. It's super cute.
Okay, cool.
And it's fun for the whole family, so we can watch with our kids.
Oh, cute.
Which is cute. Yeah.
I love that.
It's fun to be a mom and finally do something that you're wearing clothing in and that your kids can see.
I feel like I did so many Disney shows that sometimes Penelope will watch them now.
That's
and
so
she
fun.
thinks it's cool. Or like one time she watched something I'd done like a voice on. I was like, she was watching Sophia the First. I was like, oh, I'm that one. And then she goes, yeah, and I'm the voice of Elsa. And I was like, okay, fuck off. Bye.
That's hilarious. She's
like,
amazing.
yeah, and I'm the voice of Elsa.
She keeps you in check.
I was like,
she
I
keeps
guess
you humble.
that's cool.
The voice of Elsa.
Yeah.
That's
Anyways.
amazing.
Well, this was so fun.
Thanks
It's
for
so
having
nice
me.
to
I
talk.
could play that game all day, by the way. That's a fun game.
I feel like one quote I heard of yours that I did love that you had said on something else was your favorite Vicki Donovan vampire quote that you said in something else was, do you want to say it? Do you know which one
yeah,
it
I
is?
have to pee. Wait, when
Yeah,
do I have
that
to
one.
pee? I thought I was dead. That's the best quote. It's the best.
Yeah, that one.
That's
That's
it.
so good. Okay, that's the best one. Bye.